Hi again, wrestling fans. Welcome to this week's edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. My name is Mad Matt Carter. I'm being joined as always by Brian and Reagan Danzig. Rick Diesel is out doing food truck stuff, and I don't know where in the world Stephen Hayes is. But I know Chris Severn's watching because he was asking earlier today if we were having a show and was unhappy like I was that Rick Diesel is not going to be here. I mean, he's the blasting cap. He was the host of the original version of this show many, many years ago. But he has to do food truck stuff. And I just noticed Brian is wearing what looks like a brand new Cinderella shirt.
Not these people are not our sponsors, but that store at Broadway at the beach, the retro store, man, they got some good shirts. We loaded up.
Yeah, I had several that I chose that I was trying to choose from, and then they played Cinderella night songs, and I was like, okay, that seals the deal. So it was between the Cinderella, the Duran Duran, and then I think a Dio shirt. But then they played night songs. I was like, okay, that's the sign. I need to get the Cinderella shirt.
Yeah, I love that store too, man. Did you play the Pac-Man machine while you were there?
No, there were a bunch of kids, and we get to play it.
Yeah,
with Scott. So, but because now I don't know. They have the '80s store, and then on the other side they have the '90s store.
Yeah.
So we hit both, and I got me a sweet 90210 Luke Perry shirt. So
that's something. That's something. Yeah. I'm so disappointed in his children. But
hey, that he's a scapegoat. It's not his fault.
Well,
for the first time, he's entertaining. So
yeah, you pick a fight with a grizzly bear. You usually don't come out on the other side. I mean, CM Punk's a walking, ticking time bomb. It's like Rick Diesel said. Why would you do anything to that guy to throw gas on that fire? CM Punk is the kind of guy that seems like you need to be calm and quiet and everything like that around. You don't want to get him riled up.
He's like the real loose cannon.
Yeah. Well, he's like those chimpanzees at the zoo, man. If you stare directly at him too long, he's gonna come for your face. I mean, he's just I mean, any guy that would be crazy enough with only really wrestling training and a few months of MMA training to go right into the UFC and get locked in that cage with somebody who's got years of experience with mixed martial arts. Yeah, I know he lost twice, but I still say that was one of the most badass things anybody's ever done, and it took a lot of guts.
Well, even though he lost, you didn't step in the ring, you couch warrior. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, did he? Yes, he lost, but he, like you said, he got in that ring and faced that guy, and so more than I've done.
Exactly. Let's see who's texting me. Matt thing. Yeah, my brother-in-law said thanks for the shout out. Maybe we ought to stream this thing to my personal Facebook page. I wish I could stream it to too, because I'm getting like greetings from people around the world here. Got one from Phoenix and one from Ireland. Jessica can't see us now because she's not subscribed to the Mid Atlantic face, but no, hey,
you need to get those people to subscribe to the Mid Atlantic page.
Switch over to the AIWF. Tag it. Watch there. I don't even know what time. What time is it?
It's 5. See, 2 hours behind.
No. I'm saying, what time is it in Ireland? Because Jess is up late, man. It's got to be like midnight there.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Would it be last night or it'd be tonight? I don't know. Well, I can't do time zones. I'm not smart enough for time zones.
Yeah, I think the UK is 6 hours ahead of us, and I know Ireland's not part of the UK, but part of it, it's a mess. All right. Anyway, so we're here.
they use the CUNT word a lot, and it's acceptable. So I'd like to
in that culture
use that word a lot.
I've used that
so
I've used that word a couple of times in my life, maybe. Let's see.
That's what I should have called that kid in the pool. I fought with a kid in the pool at Myrtle Beach. Well, it's a teenager. They were throwing a football, so they were taking up the whole pool. That's not what I fussed about. They were on the 5th floor, and they threw the football down. And I went off. I embarrassed my child. I said, your parent might tell you this, but I'm telling you this. You don't throw something from a balcony. You could hurt somebody. And I went off, and Rocco ran for the hills. So
yep. You're right, though. I mean, you drop anything from 5 stories, it's a deadly weapon. I mean, you know.
Yeah. And it's a football, which is already hard. And the first thing is they almost hit me in the face with it. And so that started me off. And then it just built, and I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
But they ended up going to the beach and playing with their football. So I apparently scared them. So.
Well, and it worked. I mean, that's where they should be throwing a football at. Is there's plenty of room on the beach, you know, and you're not as likely to hit somebody. I mean, it's just people.
Mm-hmm. Just that's true.
But you know, I used to, when I was a little kid, I'd be curious. Like sometimes you'd visit an older friend or relative in the hospital. They'd be in their 80s or 90s or something, and they'd be like, you know, I've had a good life. I'm ready to go. And I would always I wonder why they would say comments like that. But the older I get, it's like, you know, after so many years of just people and their bullshit, you know, you just, all right. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I've had enough. I'm tired.
I understand why some people say now you know why Yoda went and lived on Dagobah to get away from everybody and died when Luke was asking him too many questions.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, did you ever have somebody? I saw that meme years ago. Did you ever have somebody ask you so many questions you just died?
No.
Well, we're supposed to be talking about wrestling here, and we will, and we are. Let's see. We got Capital Punishment coming up. I'm gonna this show's off the rails already.
Yeah, I'm excited. And it's been a while. It's also been a while for wrestling, so I'm ready to get back at it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes.
There it is.
I told you my computer's awful slow today, so if we make it all the way through this podcast without getting bumped off the air, I'll be surprised. July 20th, Capital Punishment coming up this Saturday night. We cannot wait. Matches that we know so far are Justin Flash defending against Sean Cruz from down in Lumberton with the Ring Wars Carolina outfit. That ought to be a great match. Sean Cruz, a very talented wrestler, really moves around the ring really well. But I don't know. I think Justin Flash, the champion, is still the favorite in this match. Just my opinion. I'll throw it to you for your guys' opinion.
I mean, Sean Cruz is really good in the ring. He's fast. I think it's a good matchup. I think maybe Justin Flash has a little bit on him for the high flying more. But I think pound for pound, they're really well matched.
Yeah, they are very well matched as far as speed and technical ability. You're right. Flash has the high flying in his arsenal, and then also Flash is going to have the hometown advantage. You know, where if this were in Lumberton at a Ring Wars promotion show, then that advantage would go. Would more than likely go to Cruz, but either one of these guys Flash has shown that he is a great Mid Atlantic champion. Sean Cruz would also be a great Mid Atlantic champion. The only thing I'm seeing that might be a disadvantage for Flash is his past 4 opponents have outweighed him considerably, and so this is going to be his first. I think, as far as I can tell, his first title defense against somebody his own size and that can maybe match his speed. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can make that adjustment from going against these slightly slower, bigger guys going up against a quicker opponent.
Yeah, it could go either way. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. But guys, the announcement and signing of this match right here has got me very excited. Very excited. Because THC, all 3 of them against Seth Clayton Burns Enterprises, SBE, THC versus SBE. I see what you did there, promotional department. But yeah, 6-man tag match. We don't call them trios matches. No, there's 6-man tags, even when they're girls in them. There's 6-person tags, but no, I'm glad we don't call them trios. I just don't like the sound of that. I just don't. I don't.
And I think in trios matches, it's kind of like lucha rules, right? It's
right. Yeah. To me, trios match is more, like she's saying, like the lucha tag style where it's less about tagging in and out, and it's more if one person in the team leaves the ring, another person on your team can just get in the ring. They're not as strict about the tags, the in and out tags. So that's what I think. Okay. More about the trios. It's more of a the lucha style.
Well, Reagan, next time you see one on AEW, let me know how they do that. If it's like a true lucha style or traditional 6-man, because they call them trios over there.
Well, yeah, because they have trio belts. We watched one today with Shane Taylor, and it seemed to be the same thing where they just get in. If the person is out, they go in. But I'll make a point to look at it the next time. Yeah. I do remember that's the way it was in Lucha and the way it was done in Lucha Underground also. So I know a lot of times they've taken a lot of the, types of matches from there. So, but I'll think about it more because they have a lot of trios matches. They have a lot of them.
This is going to be good simply for the fact the THC is kind of, we've seen Buddy Flowers and Metallico team up a little bit recently. But so that's an interesting aspect. But on the other side, and JT Moss, came from a tag team background. Everybody knows that story. I don't know if he wants me to tell it here, but he started in a tag team, or I don't know if he started, but he was a prominent member of a tag team at one time. But let's see what we got here on the other side. Seth Clayton Burns, Case and Kane, former tag team champion. Pretty Boy Lane, former tag team champion.
With Buddy Flowers. I mean, I don't know if they were tag team champions, but, Pretty Boy Lane tagged with Buddy Flowers for a while.
No, he was Buddy Lane was tag team champions with Kent Wolf when they were part of the Pink Gang. So, and Mickey Fulp, who is a former tag team champion, current Mid-Atlantic Television champion. Mickey is a former world tag team champion. So he knows how to do tag teams. This is going to be really, really good because Lane and Kane have gotten really good at cutting the ring off. They wrestle, and everybody's going to say, "You're full of shit, man. They're not as good as the Andersons." I didn't say they were as good as the Andersons, but they employ that style where you keep your opponent.
They have a very old school look on the way they do their tags and run their matches. So I agree with that.
Yeah, and they utilize the double team. You have when you make the tag, you have a 5 count to for the other person to get out of the ring. They do really well at utilizing that 5 count. And again, like you said, the cutting off the ring, that imaginary line, and not letting their opponent cross it.
Yeah, I really enjoy their tag team style. And if they work up, about a half a dozen double team moves, man, we'll start making Midnight Express comparisons. Really piss people off. And but no, I mean their tag team wrestling is a thing of beauty right now. Buddy Flowers and Metallico had great matches. And JT Moss and add Mickey Folk to this. This is going to be great. This is the match I'm most looking forward to. If I had to pick a winner, I'm going with Seth Clayton Burns Enterprises just because they are red hot right now. Not to say that THC isn't, but with Seth Clayton Burns at ringside, that's that extra help, that extra distracting factor. JT might want to, take one of his grilling utensils to Seth Clayton Burns as soon as they get out there and maybe remove him from ringside by hook or by crook. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, if I had to pick, I'd go with Mickey, Lane, and Kane. I'll throw it to you. Who do you think?
Well, this has been building up for a while. I know that JT Moss has been coming out to save THC from Seth Clayton Burns Enterprises. You're right. It's Seth Clayton Burns Enterprises probably has the edge because of the numbers. You don't know who else is there. You don't know who else is going. I mean, this is an organization. Well, I don't know. They are on top, but Mickey Folk is not very happy with Seth Clayton Burns right now. So we're going to have to see if that still plays. Like, has Mickey had time to cool off? When he found out Seth Clayton Burns was putting him into all those matches with stipulations, but so we're going to have to see if that comes into play because that can really cause some issues in the ring if you don't trust the people you're with.
Yeah, I think, I give it to Seth Clayton Burns Enterprises too, just because I think Seth is going to do whatever he can to make sure that his team wins, because he's already hanging by a thread, especially with Mickey. And I think if they don't come out with the win that night, then that may be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and everything could fall apart all around Seth Clayton Burns. So I think he's got a plan lined up to make sure that they walk out the winners, because if not, then it could be that all this empire that he's built could crumble this Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. Mickey is a very angry man right now, and we're going to have to see. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. So, and I think I said the word "see" more times in that last. I'm telling you, I'm having a rough day. I can't put two sentences together. All right, let's see here. Let's go to this next one now. Action Jackson. Have we seen him before in the Mid Atlantic? That name seems familiar.
I think he was here it's been over a year, I know.
Right. Yeah, I think he's wrestled with the AIWF Mid Atlantic, but it's only been once. I'm really looking forward to this matchup. When he was his match in AIWF Mid Atlantic, he was very impressive. I've heard a lot of really good things about this guy, and he'll be a really good test against Jackson Sane, a man who has still yet to be pinned in the AIWF. He's lost some matches by DQ, but nobody has pinned his shoulders to the mat, and nobody has made him submit. I am looking forward to this match. However, I do feel kind of bad. Whichever one of the two of the three commentator team that has to call this match with Action Jackson and Jackson Sane. You'll have to forgive us if we get the two names mixed up a little bit. I'm going to try to do some vocal exercises before and try to keep them. Try not to jumble up their names too much.
Hey, one of my mentors in radio, Ron Morris in Martinsville, Virginia, told me to practice in the car enunciating as I was driving. So if you see Brian driving around, you'll be seeing him like going, Action Jackson Sane. Just repeat.
And I'm curious to see what Jezebeth has, what animal she has this time.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah, she better not bring another dog. I can tell you that.
Oh God.
Yes.
Well, that did not end well.
The rodent.
No, it absolutely did not end well.
Yeah. So and look, kids, that like those rats that she walks out to the ringside with are real. All right, they are real. They have freaked people out in the locker room. So yeah. So she seems to have it domesticated. It's not like trying to pick up a rat on the side of the Ohio River and pet it. They seem to be fairly well domesticated, but still, it's a rat.
Yeah, they still got teeth and they can still bite.
Yeah, exactly. So
they
be
just
careful.
might not give you rabies, but it'll still hurt.
Be damn right it'll hurt. Yeah. So, but yeah, we were talking about Jim Cornette earlier. He had a pet rat at one time. If you go back to 1996, when Mankind first came to the WWE, those promos where he's holding the rat, that was Cornette's pet rat.
Huh.
We had a roommate who had two rats, and they were too close to the wall, and they stuck their little beady little eyes and teeth out and chewed holes in our walls.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's
her fault.
That's owner error. Yeah.
But I'm excited to see this one too, because this is two very different styles.
Mm-hmm.
Two very different looking people and two very different styles. So it will be interesting to see how somebody who is obviously a technical wrestler deals with somebody like Jackson Sane, who you could say is what is the word I'm looking for? It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't. Oh God, unorthodox. So it'll be interesting to see how this match unfolds.
Yeah,
this one I have no idea.
It's going to be wild, that's for sure. Also on the card Saturday night. I'm looking forward to this one too. Oh, goodness gracious me. Ty Tyson versus Lewis Moore. Every time I see Lewis's face, I'm reminded of where my Zaxby's addiction began. And if you don't think I'm addicted to Zaxby's, look at the app, baby. I've got enough points to get $10 off my next order. So
holy moly.
So if you know the Zaxby's app, that's a lot of points.
That's impressive. What?
Well, anyway, Lewis came out with Ty to support him at the last show and then promptly turned on him, which is, if you followed Lewis Moore's career, is nothing new, not a surprise at all. But Ty's been around a long time too, and I think that he thought that Lewis would probably have a little more respect for him just because they are veterans now. And that's just simply not the case. And so we're going to have a corporal punishment strap match. I don't know what that means. Probably means it'll be pinfall or submission as opposed to touching the four corners.
This one is just an ass whooping. This is the one of the reasons I am looking forward to this is we have two, like you said, veterans who are very reminiscent of old school wrestling. Like they're both students of old school wrestling, and I feel like they followed, and I think we're going to see. And I think we're going to see a Wahoo type strap match here. So, and if you don't know what that means, you should Google. What is it? Wahoo versus Kurt Hennig in the AWA. One of the most vicious weapons I've ever seen somebody take. So.
Oh wow, I've never seen that one.
Oh my God, what is it? Kurt, they're on to, and Kurt Hennig says what? He says, "Son of a bitch," or "God damn it."
Yeah, the second.
He said, "Yeah." He's like, "God damn it."
Yeah, on ESPN.
Yeah, ESPN Live. He says that, and he like Wahoo lights him up, and so, and I've seen other Wahoo matches where he's. So this is what I'm hoping to see with this match. I want to see some actual beatings and just. I think they're going to murder each other. So we'll see. And
that's just a warning. There are people that bring their kids to these shows. And I'm not talking about this match. I don't think it'll be anything that kids can't stomach. But some of you ringsiders really need to clean your mouths out with soap. I'm telling you. And I know one particular ringsider, and she's going to know who I'm talking to when I say this. I know where you go to church. And if you keep acting a fool, I'm going to call your preacher. Just keep it in mind. Then you'll have a whole lot of explaining to do, Lucy. So anyway, just saying that. We don't mind if you get rowdy, but what made me think of it today. I was watching NXT this week, and instead of yelling, "This is bullshit," and getting them blacked out on the USA Network, they were yelling, "This is bull crap." So I knew somebody had gone out there and had a word with that audience before they started up, and everybody said, "Oh, Raw's going to be so much better when it goes to Netflix because they won't have to black out the audience." And yeah, you can get away with a little more on Netflix because it's a paid service, and it doesn't fall under the guise of the FCC. But I've noticed that like casual swearing on basic cable seems to be like more okay on some networks than it used to be.
Well, yeah. Well, I think I don't know. We don't watch network. I don't watch network. So, everything I watch is streaming. So, but like, I don't know. It does seem to be a little bit, but I mean, you should just know things you should say and shouldn't say. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. And hey, if a GD or an F or something like that slips out, because it happens, okay. But just don't go on a Andrew Dice Clay. I'm really aging myself tonight. Rant. Like just think. These are still human beings, whether you like them or not. So
yeah. Well, that and as far as the regulations is on cable channels, usually it's self-regulation. It's that they are trying to they want a younger audience, and they want the parents to allow their kids to watch it, and so they censor themselves. But as far as broadcast, they don't have the same rules that the that the broadcast channels have. They should. As far as language goes, I think they can pretty much say whatever they want as long as they put a rating on it.
Well, I would like to see. I would like to see, especially what happened this weekend. I would like to see all social media fall under the FCC for regulation. I think it's gone too far. There needs to be some sort of oversight, and I know people roll their eyes. Oh, there's no way Jinky and I discussed it before. They probably don't have the staffing. Well, you know what? Do what the U.S. government always does: farm that shit out to a third party, and put a clamp down on it. It's too much. TV. I'm sorry. The airwaves need to be regulated. And I'm with Brian. If the cable networks want to allow casual swearing because they think it ups their viewers and it doesn't piss off their sponsors, fine. That's great. You know, HBO gets away with it because they don't have sponsors, right? You got to pay for that.
But FX does it after 10 o'clock. They just, it's whatever. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Because that's where we watch What We Do in the Shadows. And it does it have F-bombs?
Yes.
It has F-bombs and stuff. And so, but it comes on after 10.
Do they put a warning up? Do they put a warning? Do they put a warning up?
It's an MA, and then it says coarse language. What is it like? Coarse language, smoking, sexual stuff, blah blah blah. So,
yeah.
But I know FX is one of those ones who does it, and then they don't drop F-bombs on TBS for AEW, but they do. I mean, they say like the other night somebody said shit, so you know they let those lower level cuss words out.
You know, if Ted Turner was still in charge down there, that would not happen. You know, it would not. I cannot see that happening. And, you know, because Ted Turner was so conscious about everything on TBS being family oriented, you know, everybody can watch, you know, and, you know, I mean, Dusty Rhodes got fired for, you know, the Road Warriors putting a spike in his eye. You know, so
well, and I mean,
one of the reasons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just as a person who loves to cuss, I cuss a lot. I've been trying to tone it down. Huh?
So do I. I'm with you.
And I'm trying to tone it down a little bit. But I also know, as I tell my children, there's different like things you say in mixed company versus what you don't say. And when you're at an event, I don't know. Like I said, if one or two slip out and you get mad, that's fine. But don't do a tirade that and not only am I talking about cuss words, I'm talking about slur words. I'm talking about insults about people's lifestyles. Keep that in your mouth. This is a fun place to be, and it's okay to get mad. It's okay to get angry. It's okay to tell the people off. But again, these are still human beings. So, God, we sound like we're on a soapbox. I got to go get some.
And you know, and I am the worst of that. You know, when somebody says something like that, I immediately have a word that I call them that's not politically correct. That starts with the letter R. That's not politically correct anymore. And I need to do better about not calling them that, for them calling the wrestlers' names. Although I usually just mumble it under my breath. But anyway, let me read some ads real quick, and then we'll move along and get Reagan to tell us about what she's been watching on AEW. Premier Auto Detailing has been with us for a while now. They're a great car wash and detail service there that operates in Mount Airy. Hands down, the best car cleaning service in town. Got a new number for you. Reach out to them at 336-736-2638. That's 336-736-2638. Whoa, dyslexia kicking in. All right, so check them out. New or old, classic. If you got a fleet you need cleaned up, if you're a used car lot and you don't want to take on a new employee, there you go. Problem solved. Premier Auto Detailing. Give them a call, 336-736-2638. And Tees Creations, custom apparel, home of custom-made t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, whatever you need. They're all over the freaking internet, man. You know, they got their own website, teescreations22.com. You can find them on Facebook. They're very active on TikTok and Shopify. And I know how much a Shopify membership is, so please go on there and buy some shit to help them pay for that Shopify. That is not cheap. Don't believe me? Go look. It's not cheap. But yeah, Tees Creations, check them out. And they, of course, they're the official merchandise dealer for AIWF Mid Atlantic. So if any of you boys out there that wrestle on the cards are hearing my voice, you don't have to send off to Chicago. You don't have to go somewhere distant to get merchandise made. You just see you know who the people in charge are of Tees Creations. Just see them and work out a deal, man. I mean, you put a few extra bucks in your pocket by selling some merchandise. All right. So if you want to advertise with us, it's real cheap. $10 a month. Still waiting on that first payment from Secondhand Heroes. I know you're out there, Ace. I know it don't come to me. I'm just ribbing you. But monthly $10, just like what you got there. Then it was a short read tonight because I'm not really feeling well. I'm not in a good mood right now, guys. And we got to be nicer to each other in this country. But $10 a month, and we'll give you a nice read. And yeah, so that's that for the first round of advertising. We'll do some more in a little bit. Now, if you're just be nice to everybody. God almighty, man. We're all freaking humans. We all breathe the same air. I wish I could quote that Kennedy speech, when he was talking about the differences between us and the Russians. I mean, there's people dead in Pennsylvania tonight because of some kids ain't gonna have their daddy come home because of some shit that was on social media that started with name calling. So yeah, we got to do better, people. We got to do better. And I got a microphone, and I know Brian and Reagan don't want to comment. This has nothing to do with political affiliation, but Jesus Christ, man. And
well, no, I mean, and I agree with you. Like I've said when we were talking about I was like, people are human, and you have to remember people are human. You have to take their flaws. You have to take. You just have to remember that when it comes down to it, everybody's human.
Yeah. And this is a 20-year-old who did this shit, and he's dead. Whole life thrown away. And the 20-year-old that did it, he killed a guy. There's 2 other people seriously injured. I don't know if you saw the guy that rendered first aid to the guy that got the father that got killed. But he was covered in blood. He was wearing a white t-shirt, of course, on a day that, that happened. And he was covered in blood. And the Pennsylvania governor was talking about the guy, and they were there for entertainment, just like people come to a wrestling show. But some people, politics is entertainment. I know people like that. They follow politics like it's a ball game, like it's a sports team, and to them, it's a lot of fun. And that sounds like this guy was a fireman. They made sure to say that he went to church every Sunday. But he had 2 daughters, 2 young daughters. And now daddy ain't coming home. And it's all over shit talking on social media. And I'll just tell you, guys out there, you post that bullshit on my Facebook. Well, Instagram's not a problem because I just do the wrestling stuff on Instagram. And if you're not doing something wrestling related or putting one of those little talking cactuses in front of a dog or a baby to see how it reacts. Have you seen those videos? They're all over TikTok. They're great.
No, I'll have to check that out. I remember back in the day there was that thing where they were throwing cheese on babies' heads.
Yes, or ham. They would do ham sometimes too.
Which probably is unethical, but it was pretty funny.
It is funny. And so there's plenty of good stuff on the internet, but people get all bent out of shape about the bad stuff. And I'm gonna start deleting some motherfuckers on Facebook. I'm just telling you. That's considered the old person's social media anyway.
It's the boomer one.
Yeah. And
I use it now for finding recipes and finding things to do, like events and festivals and concerts, and that's a really good way to do that. But I just I don't know.
Yeah, man, it's a rough time. Like, and you don't, just because somebody looks at politics or religion different than you, man. I'm not saying, I mean to sound preachy, because I'm guilty of this just the same as most people are. So, I'm not talking down to anybody. I'm kind of like trying to make my own self better here. It's like, because somebody disagrees with you politically or religiously or how you live your life does not make you their enemy, right? Now, if somebody tries to come in your house and hurt your family, they are your enemy and should be dealt with accordingly. And we have laws in North Carolina to protect you from people like that. And if you deal with them in the manner they should be dealt with, the laws will protect you. But you should take concealed carry so you know what those laws are. Don't just shoot somebody. But I'm telling you, man, we need to be better to each other. I mean, wishing death on anybody is a classless fucking move. And it to anybody. And if
it goes always. It's not just about political figures, it's about people. Yeah. There are certain people in this world who wish death on people for their lifestyles, or for I'm going to get preachy,
or for being Jewish, or for being gay, or for being
Muslim, like anybody, like, and it's just because of who they love, or what they look like, or what their religion is, or what their this is, or what that is. Just leave. I don't know. You know what? None of your business. Just
go about your life and don't worry about what everybody else is doing. And if you see something on TV that you don't like or offends you, you got 1,000 channels, brother. You ain't got it. And if you got 1,000 channels, there's always sports. There's plenty of programs that aren't preachy, and there's plenty of other shit to watch besides CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC, which I think is a problem. I think they fire up the people. They just do whatever they can to get you mad. CNN is the lesser of those three evils, but Fox and MSNBC are the worst. All they do is try to get people fired up and angry so they'll sit through the next break.
Well, it's just not only that, like, just for benign things, like stories you see on, this sounds, like on Facebook, they just want you to click it. They want you to click. And, and everybody who knows clickbait, and that even goes all the way down. I know we're talking about something really serious, but like you see it all the time with wrestling stories.
Yes.
And you click on it and it's like, they're like, WWE superstar leaves AEW, and you click on it and it's CJ Perry leaving AEW. And I'm like, I didn't even know she's still there. So it's just you. The one thing I say is,
but Reagan did a big thing right there, guys. She admitted she fell for that shit. And don't laugh at her, because you've done it too. So have I.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I mean, it is, and you're just like, I don't know. It's just the whole world is at your fingertips now. Use it smartly.
Yeah.
Use it smartly. Before you share something, just look it up. Make sure it's true. You see these people who put up like these pictures of Keanu Reeves, and then they put like these quotes over top of it, so it implies that he says it, and he did it. Or you see it also with Morgan Freeman. You see his picture and some kind of nonsense quote. You see all these things, and just
and historical figures too.
Yeah,
just because the picture is of Thomas Jefferson and has words underneath it doesn't mean Thomas Jefferson actually said that.
Yes.
Or Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Ben Franklin. Look it up.
Yeah, and you can look it up in a way that's not just Googling it. There are plenty of historical and pages that are unbiased, that just give you information. Yeah. And just it takes 3 seconds to look something up.
Yeah, to Google it. And most of the time you'll find out it's a scam right away. They'll be like, oh no, this is a scam.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is all woo.
Yeah, this is funny because I was watching NBC's coverage of the assassination attempt last night. And if you're watching this sometime in the future, this is the day after somebody tried to assassinate former President Trump at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. And which, I mean, you would have seen that by clicking the date of the video, and nobody watches the show on YouTube. I shouldn't say that. The bulk of our views are on Facebook, but the numbers on YouTube are not burning down the house. But that's why we archive the show, so it's there for historical purposes. But I was watching the coverage on MSNBC, or not MSNBC. What was I saying? NBC, the regular NBC network, local here, WCNC, Channel 36, Charlotte, It used to have other call letters many years ago and was actually where they filmed the Mid Atlantic Wrestling show when it moved to Charlotte from Raleigh after they got kicked out of RAL because of PM Magazine. They moved it. Remember, you see the studio show where the ring looks like it's sitting kind of catty cornered and Bob Caudle standing off to one side. That's where that studio is. So, wrestling fans, soft spot, if you grew up loving Jim Crockett Promotions, moving to this city is really great because you can tie just about everything to wrestling somehow. It's really awesome. And so I was watching on WCNC, and they had a thing where they were advertising the NBC does a daily kids news show at 4:00. And Reagan, you're a teacher. Is Channel 1 still a thing in the schools?
No. There is no now. Scholastic News and Time have something you can watch, but it's not like live. It's like you watch it, whenever. So there's not channel. Winston and Forsyth County Schools has Channel 2, but it's mostly just school information.
Oh, okay. So they don't have the TVs in the classrooms anymore with the channel. Y'all remember what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I do. Yes,
okay.
that's also
like a news channel for kids.
Yeah.
And they put it in the schools, and that was actually run by NBC. We're getting TV nerd stuff now, so you just watch out, folks. I'll get back to wrestling quickly, I promise. Well, NBC ran Channel 1 when it was in existence. And remember when it first came on, there was a whole controversy about them letting advertisers come on there and pitch product. Oh, these are teenagers and little kids. You shouldn't pitch product to them. Why the hell not? They go home from school, do their homework, turn on fucking DuckTales, and you're pitching product to them every 8 minutes. So, I mean, you're going to show them I remember the first time we watched Channel 1 when I was in the 10th grade, the commercial was a Halloween themed Doritos commercial. Yeah. And we were more excited as kids. We were more excited about what commercials they were going to show to us than the content of the news broadcast. But I did learn
commercials were good back then.
They're good now.
Yeah, what? The progressive one with the ghost, where he's like talking about that he got this fireplace for $25, and he's like, "You got bamboozled," and it's the only commercial that I think I've ever thoroughly enjoyed. I love it. You got bamboozled.
Well, you didn't like those Geico commercials about 10 or 15 years ago where the announcer would go, "Is it easy to save money on car insurance? Does Charlie Daniels play a mean fiddle?" And then I
don't remember that one. I remember the cavemen, but I don't remember.
That's going back. That's like 20 years ago right there.
Yeah, so. But some of it, this one just tickles me. And I can't find who the guy is. Like, I go on Reddit and like everybody's like, "Who is this guy?" Nobody knows. And so, because I'm curious, because a lot of people that are in commercials are improvisers. Like, where's Flo from? She UCB.
Yeah.
So like Flo from Progressive started with Upright Citizen Brigade, and there's other ones that are improvisers. So I was trying to figure out if he was somebody we knew. So, but
those progressive,
you can find it. Let me know.
Those progressive characters are something. They really have struck gold with that ad campaign, and it's one of the longer lasting ones that I can remember. I mean, I couldn't tell you when Flo started. That's been around so long, but let's see. But you know what? An advertiser that's got me angry right now is Applebee's, because they're using that song "Unbelievable" to promote their 50 cents cheese sticks or something like this. And
how about the EMF song "Unbelievable"?
Yes.
They also use a Kiss song, right? Don't they use
Rock and Roll All Night?
Yeah.
Well, I know Kiss is a bunch of sellouts. They've never denied, never admitted, they but like EMF, which I guess they're old enough now that they need the extra money, but I don't even know if all those guys are still alive, man. I heard they got into the occult and Satanism and all kinds of weird shit after they had that big hit.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh,
what the fuck?
You know what? I think we should change. We need to name this section of the thing Boomer podcasting.
No, I'm not boomers. I'm a Generation Xer. So we invented slacking, kids. So, I don't think we did. I think actually the hippies of the boomer generation actually invented slacking, but I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, all they did was sit around all day and get high.
Well, but the thing, it's going back even further than that. There's like there's writings from ancient Rome talking about how the kids today they're just lazy and they're not like us. Nobody wants to work anymore. It's like from time from time when anything was written down, you've had people complaining about the next generation and how they're just hopeless.
And I used to make fun of my mother because she would get upset, not upset, but like it would irritate her when commercials would come on with songs from her generation, and I was like, nah. And now it does the same thing. It drives me crazy now. So.
Yeah, but yeah, it drives me crazy too. It's too bad they don't sell because we have Apple Music and stuff like that. You don't see the compilation albums like you used to advertise on TBS. When I was a little kid, they'd be like, you could get the best of the 50s, 3 albums, 2 8-tracks, or 2 cassettes for only $19.95. And I used to think this was so hokey and funny. And now I'm like, it would be now like, call now 1-800-257-1234 for the best of 90s grunge music, and so I'll tell you something, kids. I'm actually kind of quite impressed with most of some of the younger generation, at least the ones I know. The ones I see at Walmart, no. That's why I shop at Food Line most of the time because Walmart makes me sad. But oh Lord,
it's one of those. But like I turned one of my children, Lydia likes not only the Eastbound and Down, she also loves the slow song about the bandit that plays
really?
it. Yeah, so
I've done pretty
well. Huh?
The bridge scene. Yeah.
Yes. I think it's just called The Bandit.
Yeah, they call him.
Probably holler to her and find out, but I'm pretty sure that's what she likes that song. So I've turned her on to a little Jerry Reed, which is nice. So.
I watched Smokey and the Bandit, and I ordered it on Blu-ray when they had the 40th anniversary, and they redid the Blu-ray and upped it to 4K and all that stuff. And I watched it over the 4th of July weekend because that movie takes place over the 4th of July weekend. So, it's like Christmas movies. I won't watch them any other time but Christmas time, but Smokey and the Bandit is like, that's a July movie for me. And I watched it the other night and it still holds up to this day.
I watch it a few times a year. I don't watch it but I bought it on Prime, and it is. I got Lydia to watch most of it. She has ADHD, so she made it about an hour, which I was pretty impressed. So, and then I paused it for something, and then she lost interest. But
have her come back and watch the rest of it, because I love that movie. It's got so many quotable lines,
yeah, I saw a shirt at that place in Myrtle Beach that said, "You dumb son." What is it?
You dumb son bitch.
Dumb son bitch. And I was like, I couldn't wear that anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I've got one in the closet that I don't wear anymore because I accidentally had it on one day and we decided to go. You know how you can go into Tweetsie Railroad after 3:00, and if you go in after 3:00, your ticket will work the next day.
Yes, I've heard that.
So we realized that when we were up on a trip to Boone, and I had my Smokey and the Bandit shirt on, which says, give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper and make it fast. I'm in a goddamn hurry. And I wore that into Tweetsie Railroad, not thinking about what shirt I had on. And there's all these little kids, and I see little kids just stopping and staring at me. And I'm like, I look at Jinky and I was like, you need to get out of here like that. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, look at the shirt I've got on. like that. And I said, I'm walking around here with a bunch of kids. I'm in a kids park. I was like, I would have changed in the car if I'd have realized it like that. And she goes, we're already in. We've already paid our money. We're not going anywhere. Let them stare. And I mean, I was just like, oh God, I felt so bad about that. I don't hardly wear that shirt anymore because of that, you know.
Do you know my old wrestling shirt said bitch on it? It says, life's a bitch and so am I.
Mm.
So I'd love to have that. I had one and it disappeared over life. I also had a Daniel May shirt, but I lost that also. And all my NWF shirts.
Boy, I tell you, there's a guy that disappeared, boy, Daniel Mays. I mean, when he stopped coming to wrestling, I never saw him again.
We spoke to him last week.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, we're on a group call with him and some friends of ours, and he's doing well.
Good.
So yeah, we spoke to him for a few minutes, and yeah, he's doing good.
Good. Glad to hear that. So if you're out there, Daniel, hello, sir.
We do have a lot of friends who disappear.
Hell, there was one guy that wrestled in the AIWF in the early 2000s. I can't remember what his name was, but I remember I refereed one of his matches. And did the wrestling show with him. And it came back and he was like, hey, you remember it came back and Rick Diesel was like, hey, Daryl or whatever his name was. I don't remember his name. I was like, yeah. And he was like, you know that fair that was down there at the shopping center a couple of weeks ago? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you know, he went off and run off with them. He joined up with the Carney troop and left with the fair. And I was just like, now we've had some people disappear, but actually have somebody actually quote run off with the carnival. That was the first time.
I know we've had some people go to jail. We've had some people disappear on it. Yeah, but that is pretty. That's running off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
what is it? RUNNOFT?
Yeah, RUNNOFT. Yeah, that's a great movie.
That's a deep cut also. I might watch it. I'd like to watch that.
That is a funny movie. One of the funniest lines I've ever heard in my life. Oh, we are Negroes, sir.
Oh my God! Now you have to give some context to that.
Yeah. So
you're gonna get popped on YouTube.
If you've not seen "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," they go into it. They hear about this radio station, and what was it, Tishomingo, I think.
I don't remember. That's where they did the Constant Sorrow song.
Yeah, and they heard that they could make $10 a piece. Now this is during the Great Depression. $10 was like it would go a long way, and so they heard that they could go to this radio station and a guy would pay him $10 a piece if he sang real good, and so yeah, he had a record thing down there, and the guy, they get to the radio station, and the guy is blind. The radio DJ is blind, and he said, I heard you paid good money to sing into a can. And because this is 1930s Mississippi, the guy said, well, yeah, but I don't record Negro songs. And the guitar player that was with them was a black guy. And so George Clooney, thinking on his feet, his character, always real slick, fast talker, he looks at him, he goes, well, we are Negroes, sir, but we see old timey records like it. And so they ended up singing Man of Constant Sorrow. They got their money and ran out of there. So
that man, that's how he's smooth.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes, aging ourselves again.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, but Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, man, you know, that movie was so crazy. It was about the old South, but it was really a retelling of Homer's Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what made that really cool, was like, you know, the Cyclops, John Goodman was the Cyclops, who was in this movie a Bible salesman that was dishonest and a member of the Klan and just a horrible human being altogether. You know, when John Goodman plays a bad guy, he is damn good at it.
What?
You know?
He is. I think he's one of those actors. Like, I love everything he's in.
Mm-hmm.
He is just good at everything he does.
Mm-hmm.
And this sounds really crazy. He's in Skull Out. Yeah, Skull Island, the first
Yeah.
movie. God, he's so good in it.
Yeah, he
And
gets
he's
eaten by a bug.
yeah. I mean, it's just, he's a great actor, and he's really good in Righteous Gemstones, and like I'm trying to think he is good and everything. The one movie I've not seen him in that I would like to is the Cloverfield movie prequel that he's in.
No, I haven't. I saw the original Cloverfield, but I hadn't seen the
I don't know
prequel.
what it's called. He put somebody in a basement, and but I've not seen it. I've always wanted to, and I haven't.
Cloverfield was good, but it gave me motion sickness. It was like
Cloverfield Lane, I think is what this one was called.
yeah.
Anyway,
I enjoyed Cloverfield. I watched it one time. It made me have motion sickness, and Blair Witch Project did that to me too. But I got over it at the Blair Witch Project. About 20 minutes into it, I was able to get over it. But Cloverfield, man, it stuck with me the whole time.
I have not seen that one. I don't know why. I used to not like monster movies like that, but since I enjoyed all the Godzilla movies, I might need to go back, and I do like found footage movies too.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's just a found footage monster movie, and it's pretty cool because they do it in a way that you don't see much. You just see enough to get your imagination going. So it's like, have you ever seen the original black and white version of The House on Haunted Hill?
Yes.
I think we talked about this before. That is 10 times better than the Liam Neeson version from the 90s.
Oh,
I think,
God, yes.
because they don't show you anything. All you do is hear stuff and see shadows, and I think it's terrifying. But anyway. That's
one of the reasons I like Blair Witch Project. It had the same thing about it. Like, you could hear stuff. Oh, I'm getting cold chills just thinking about it. That movie scared the absolute shit out of me.
What's that? What was it?
Blair Witch Project.
Oh, yeah.
Because, they didn't show it. You could hear stuff. And then there was that one scene where you could see fingers, but you couldn't really see it.
Mm-hmm. When she's pointing down at the ground and you can see that stuff tied up. Yeah.
And that's what made it so scary, because because I watch a lot of TikToks now about Appalachia, like things you shouldn't do in the Appalachian Mountains, like whistle or call people, like if you hear, and so that stuff creeps me out. So it's something I enjoy, even though it's all bullshit. Because I'm not from the Appalachia, but I'm pretty close where I grew up in Danbury, and I've been all over that mountain on a 4-wheeler, and I've never seen anything but a gigantic turkey that attacked me. So, so that's
Chris Severn made a comment. He sent me a text that said John Goodman was one hell of a Fred Flintstone.
Oh yeah, and he's great in Monsters Inc. and
yeah, he's good, no doubt about it. Let's see. Well, Reagan, you've been watching some AEW. Let's get back to wrestling.
Damn it, I took a bunch of notes for the 2 weeks ago, but not this week.
Oh, that's all right. Just share with us what you got.
Okay, wait a minute. I got to pull it up because I did on my phone. So we watched, before we went to the beach, AEW had a Dynamite that was called Beach Break, which was actually a really good show. Pac is back, the Bastard Pac, and he's really, he's an excellent wrestler. Him and Daniel Bryanson had a qualifier for the Owen Hart, and then it ended up that it was Bryan Danielson and Adam Page. And the match between Danielson and Pac was good. The Hangman match with Daniel Bryanson was like okay. He wasn't spectacular. What did you think?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think maybe it was just the expectations were so high that once it happened, it was like, oh, this isn't that good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the match, but I was expecting more. But I think with Danielson's injuries, I think he's kind of on borrowed time. I mean, I know he says he wants to go out on top, but I think he's pretty much signaling that he's almost done.
Yeah, and so they were doing a bunch of setup for this Blood and Guts, and when Adam Page came back, guess he hadn't been there in a while because we just
Yeah, he's been gone for a while.
Yeah, they had the indefinite suspension.
That's right. Yeah. And so the Elite wanted him to be part of this Blood and Guts against AEW, which seemed very NWO, WCW, and he said no. But then this last week when he lost against Danielson, he went, and said that he would be part of the group. And Adam Page coming back, like he's really hitting his stride. I'm enjoying some of the stuff's a little much, but Brian really likes it, what he's doing.
Yeah, he's just like unhinged and just doing this crazy thing. I think he's doing a good job of it. I enjoy it.
Britt Baker's back, and she gave a big long promo about she had a TMI, which is kind of like a mini stroke. So that's what put her out for so long. So now she's back. And then the other person who came back was Riho, the little Asian girl. And she was supposed to do you could tell that she was up for a angle with what is her name? I didn't write it down. Anyway, the professor, what is her name? With a D. What is wrong with my brain? Anyway, she had a match and she jumped and you could tell she missed the person and she messed up her wrist. Like she hurt her wrist like immediately. First match back, got hurt.
She's only 90 goddamn pounds. I don't know how she could even bat a horsefly off a horse. I mean,
I know, and that's one thing about her that I'm not like. The whole match was just botch after botch after botch. And I was like, she's got a little ring rust. There were some things where things didn't go right, but she did her, kind of like a flying crossbody off the top rope to the floor, and she missed to it. I think she was wrestling. She wrestling Statlander.
I think so.
No, she wrestled Willow Nightingale. Anyway, I don't remember that, but she is hurt immediately. And it's a shame. Yeah, she is so tiny that it's unbelievable. The other thing that came out is Marco Stunt came back and wrestled Jack Perry, which was actually really fun to watch. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Marco Stunt because he's so little, but like you knew he was going to lose, but it was good. I mean, it was fun to watch. And then
that's what Dutch Man Style said. He's like, what is he, like 5'2"? And they looked it up, and yeah, that's what he is. He's 5'2".
And he had a little more weight on him this time. But the crowd marked out. But the thing about, and then we watched this week, and I just watched it this week. They did both of the Owen Hart Foundation matches. Like I said, the Bryan Danielson Adam Page match was okay. I think I was expecting more, because they're both phenomenal wrestlers. But the match of the night was Maya May and Willow Nightingale for the women's Owen Hart. Fantastic match, really good match. And then she has been with Toni Storm, and she turned on her and gave her a beating like 1985. It was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was brutal.
It was brutal. And then we watched, like I said, Dynamite this week was terrible. Rampage was really good. That seems to be where they put all their wrestlers sometimes. So it's the Chris Jericho thing. That's right. So Chris Jericho wrestled Samoa Joe. And, Chris Jericho's gimmick right now is kind of entertaining. He's like, hey, guys. And he's like, I'm the learning tree. And he's like, but then he's also sinister. He's really laying into the fact that everybody hates him. But the thing was, he wrestled Samoa Joe in a Stampede street fight. And it ended with Samoa Joe on a pallet on a forklift. And there was this random wall, like backstage, just random. And he ran him through it. And the thing, because it looked like a paper wall, really.
Mm-hmm. And it was drywall. You could tell it was drywall, but he hit right where there were no beams. And the funny thing is, Colt Cabana was going in to check on Samoa Joe, and as he goes in, he breaks off a piece of the drywall to get in,
and it's like, hand.
yeah, and it's like you're kind of underselling the gimmick there, Colt, by swatting away the thing that was supposed to be.
Did it kind of look like the Shockmaster in reverse?
Yes,
right.
But like I was telling Brian, like it was a good idea that was executed poorly, which sometimes is AEW's fault. That they have these pretty good ideas, but Samoa Joe is in Twisted Metal, and that's starting to film again, so he's out.
Yeah, he plays Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, and so that it doesn't seem like they can ever have 2 good shows a week, and they have 3 shows, which is insane. But when you think about it, again, there's every time you watch it, there's a faction coming out. Everybody has a belt. Now there's 2 more belts because of the Owen Hart thing. There was a trophy and a belt. And but when I watch the wrestling and I watch what you would, I guess, consider their undercard, like it's fantastic. And they say Ricochet's on his way there. So
that's the rumor, but that continues to be a rumor. I hadn't seen him show up there yet.
Yeah, but like I said, their undercard guys are fantastic. It's when they focus on this other stuff. It's like I say this 1,000 times, very reminiscent of WCW, where you had all these great cruiserweights, all these great undercard guys, but they're like, oh, let's go to the back. Here's Hulk Hogan coming in his limo, and then Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio are in a little bitty box in the corner, and because right now I'm rewatching Nitro in order, so we just started getting the NWO, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna break my young adult heart because I was such an NWO mark. I just can't. It's bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, WWE has bad guys that you can really get behind and hate legitimately, that make you want to go to the matches to see them get their ass kicked. AEW has the Young Bucks, who come off every time I see them as a couple of jerk offs. And I don't mean in a good way either. I mean in a like, I don't want these motherfuckers on my TV. I have sworn so much tonight, I'm going to be surprised if I don't get a reprimand from YouTube. But it's like they come off as just unlikable, just
it's like my feeling about
go
Jeff
away
Jarrett.
heat is what they call it.
And it's like my feeling about Jeff Jarrett. It's like I don't like him in a real way. Does that make and there's just some wrestlers that you just watch and it's not, you don't hate them because of the storyline of their character. You actually can't stand to watch them because you're just with them.
Can't stand to look at their face.
Yeah.
There's some actors in Hollywood that are like that with me. Remember the girl in Superbad? The redhead, she's the most famous, I think, of all the actors that were in that movie. That was a love interest to one of the boys. I can't remember her real name's Emma something.
Emma Stone?
Is it Emma Stone? Not the same Emma that's in Harry Potter. Different Emma.
No, that's Emma Watson.
Okay, so it's probably Emma Stone, and I am sure she's probably a nice lady, but I hate her fucking face. I can't watch anything with her in it. It's super bad. And that was a bad first impression because every time I watch Superbad, it makes my head hurt. And the reason is because the way they lit it. Something about the way that movie's lit makes my eyes and my temple and my head hurt. A funny movie. I loved it, but it always gives me a headache. Isn't that weird? So that might have something to do with it. But like, I can't even look at her face. I mean, I don't want to see her. If she's in something, no, I'm not going. I'm not going to put it on my TV. No, Jinky, you can watch it. I'm not. And I don't have any reason for that. But that just happens. Sometimes we just hate for no reason, and I don't even want to say hate because I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I hope she makes a ton of money in Hollywood, and whatever dream she has comes true. I just can't watch her.
Yeah, but there are wrestlers that I'm like, I can't think of any, like I said, Jeff Jarrett was like that, because I just don't like it, until I saw him at that panel when he was talking about how Hogan ruined TNA, and I was like, yes, and he said it, and he didn't even pretend like he was trying to, you know how sometimes names will like talk shit about people, but not in a. Jeff Jarrett did not. He let Dixie Carter have it, and it was one of the best panels I've ever seen.
Mm.
And he just was honest, and I was like, yeah, because he's on AEW right now.
Mm-hmm.
He was a special enforcer for the match with Adam Page and Daniel Bryanson and Daniel. What the hell is his name now? Daniel Bryanson.
Bryan Danielson.
That's Brian, what the hell? Okay, I'm tired too.
You're thinking of Daniel Bryan. He was Daniel Bryan.
Okay, so I was mushing it all together.
Yeah.
And of course, you know how those end. The ref gets knocked out. Jeff Jarrett jumps in the ring, takes off his shirt, and he's wearing a sleeveless ref shirt. I'm like, why is it sleeveless? But yeah,
to show off them guns, baby.
But yeah, so.
Well, AEW marches on. Let's see here. Let me read the second ad spot. Let's see here. And of course, we're going to come to you first with our friends at drawing a blank. Oh Lord. Maybe we just need to get out of here.
What are you talking about? Branch management? What are you talking about?
Yes, I drew a blank. I'm sorry. I told you not having a good day. But branch management is great, man. They don't really have any more of the hanging plants. But if you need yard work done there, your go-to guys, pressure washing, anything you need to do outside. And I mean, let's face it, man, we're right in the thick of it as summertime goes. I mean, we're not even into summer a full month yet, and it's crazy hot. So if you just don't feel like going outside, or you want them to come do the work for you, any landscaping work you need done, 336-648-2487, 336-648-2487. Oh boy, call them up, Branch Management. Now you can find us on YouTube, AIWF Network, AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Send your hate mail to AIWF20@hotmail.com or any advertising inquiries. Thank you on the AIWF Ringside Wrestling channel. I got to read you these stats because we've had a great month. It's starting to cool off now. But we are up 218. Well, let me refresh it. We are up 219 subscribers this month. We're almost to 1,500 once we get another 55. Our views have been way up. Mickey Fault and Ty Tyson has been viewed. Let me refresh it real quick. Check this out. 32,737 times.
Wow.
I put that video up. When did it go up? June 26th. So it's only been up a few weeks. And it crossed 30,000 day, I think on Friday. And so we appreciate the support. Thank you guys. So like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell. Appreciate you. We're just so happy at those numbers, and mainly happy that the guys who wrestle around here for these independents don't get trapped behind a paywall. So promoters at national promotions can see them. That's the idea. So if you see a match with your favorite wrestler on there, share it. Believe me, yes, the channel is monetized, but they ain't sent us a check yet. So it's a very slow process. So don't think for a second that you're putting money in anybody's pocket, that it shouldn't be going into by clicking, sharing our videos on our monetized channel, because it's not. I'll tell you, no, I won't. Not on their platform. I'm not going to tell you. You want to know about Google? come see me at the show. I'll tell you somewhere where it's not recorded, and I'll tell you how the whole thing works. Be glad to share that off the air. But yeah, you're helping the boys out when you do that. And I want these guys, I want there to be some more Javon Evans. I want there to be more Adam Pages, and Adam Page, man, not the biggest fan of his work now, but I knew him when he was, still in high school when he used to come around here. So, and I still call him Little Adam Page, even though he's all bulky and buff now, it's just, to me, he'll always be Little Adam. But, we want to see more guys like that. Who else? Andre Chase. I mean, so, help him out. You know what's funny though? Even though Javon Evans is like the biggest sensation in NXT right now, I went and found his match where he won the TV title from Dirty Joe a couple of years ago and posted it to social media, and it's only got maybe 600 views. But it's good. It's got him listed as Jay Malachi. So I could go in there and change the title, but I really don't want to because that's what he was known by in the independents. And
you don't know, you might get hit if you put the name.
Yeah, and that copyrighted name belongs to WWE. So but I might add something to the notes like FKA or something. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for the support on YouTube, guys. And yeah, let's get our indie wrestlers out from behind paywalls. There's other independent wrestling networks around the country that are doing this too and have even more subscribers than we do. There's a group up in Western Pennsylvania. I know that's in the news right now, that operates in Western Pennsylvania, the northernmost, the tip of West Virginia, the panhandle up there, and Eastern Ohio. And they cover independents all throughout that area. And they've got a bigger channel than we do. They follow us. They're a subscriber to our channel. So there are places around the country that this is happening. But just saying, indie promoters, we don't got to be so greedy, man. We need to try to get these guys more work, more paydays. Wrestling's a dangerous sport. Tease Treats is our local food truck. That's why Rick Diesel's not here tonight. He's with Tease Treats somewhere meddling around in Winston-Salem.
Peters Creek Parkway at the Walmart on Peters Creek Parkway.
Oh, really? Okay, so go by and get you a milkshake. It's a good night for a milkshake. It's hot outside. It's milkshake weather. My wife had me take her to Sonic and get her one yesterday. 336-755-8204. Now, so you can find out where they're at, or at facebook.com/tease treats. I am a big fan of the hot dogs. They got the frozen bandanas here. And they are absolutely delicious. Mini donuts. They got pizza now. Yeah, Reagan likes the chicken tenders. I believe they're selling chicken sandwiches.
And chili cheese fries. And their fried cheesecake. What else do I like? I get an Oreo milkshake from them now. I'm starting to broaden out their chicken sandwiches. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Goodness. Those are delicious.
Yes, they are.
Yep. And so the chicken sandwiches are good. Everything is good. They're the best concessions in wrestling. We encourage you to try them out if you see them out somewhere. You find out more about them, facebook.com/tease treats. Yeah, yummy, yummy, yummy. I don't even know if they do those potato chip
things
things
anymore.
anymore.
I usually see people with them at wrestling.
Oh, okay. Cool beans. All right. Secondhand Heroes and Home for Wayward Villains is a gaming store that also features collectible toys, retro gaming consoles and games, as well as free-to-play arcade cabinets and comic book featuring Magic the Gathering casual play, as well as tournaments. They also host the Dungeons and Dragons campaigns several times a week, located at 18184 Leesville Road in Evington, Virginia. That's right outside Lynchburg. Secondhand Heroes is your one-stop shop for you to get your nerd on. They're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. They don't close until the dice stop rolling. I think we all need to get together and make a big field trip up there.
I agree.
Yeah, and let's see. What else we got here? As you can see, the room for the tabletop games. I actually printed out the copy so it wouldn't have to struggle for the address and phone number and all that stuff. As you can see, there's a menu on that refrigerator there, so they got you covered as far as food and drinks go. I don't know if they want you bringing a cooler full of beer in there and getting playing cards and getting in fights. So you might want to call them before you show up. But I mean, the D&D crowd don't really worry me about showing up with a cooler of beer and busting the place up, and that would be a mistake anywhere AC's around to.
Oh, good Lord! Yeah.
Think that fighting would be a good idea in that man's presence is not. No, I'm sure that there's no trouble at Secondhand Heroes. I'm sure Law and Order is maintained well there. It's safe no matter how big a nerd you are. Older console games like Nintendo and Sega classics for you to play. I'm getting angry because I just thought of Ikari Warriors. When you talk about old NES games, do y'all remember Ikari Warriors? Where you're just like two dudes that look like Rambo, one with a red bandana and one with the blue bandana, and you're just walking, shooting enemies. And it's so long. And you can have unlimited lives because if you die the third time you hit ABBA and they would regenerate, you get 3 more lives. And you play that game.
Contra.
Yeah. Well, Contra was up, down, left, right, BA start.
Oh, okay.
And you could get 60 lives, I think. But this was different. If you want to look it up, I'm telling you, I played that game. Me and my buddy played that game until our thumbs were about to fall off because we just had to see what happened when you finally beat this game. And when you beat it, it takes like 4 hours to go through it. It's so slow and cumbersome. It's a lot of fun if you like pointing and shooting. And you get a text message at the end. No cool ending, nothing.
No.
General such and such congratulates you for destroying the alien. And then the game resets. And you're just like, went through all of that, this never-ending game. Look, I think Angry Video Game Nerd did a video on it about 15 years ago, and he was a lot nicer, a lot meaner than I was. Monday Night D&D groups been running up for over a year, and they welcome newcomers, both experienced and inexperienced. They also host video game competitions for games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, all those. Something for the gamer and collector and us all. Call them at 434-317-0121. I'll give you that number again. 434-317-0121. Or you can visit them at secondhandheroesva@gmail.com. Well, you can't visit them there. You can send them a note. Secondhand Heroes is like second, like with a 2ND handheroesva@gmail.com. Yeah, I'd kind of like to go up there and see that store. That looks like you can have some fun in there. So, and check out the title belts they have for their tournaments. So the wrestling connection there. It's pretty cool. Got the Mortal
Honda
Kombat.
was always my guy on Street Fighter 2.
Who? Which one?
Honda, the sumo wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, had the 1,000-hand slap.
And yeah, if you got caught in that thing, man, you were in big trouble. There was one guy at the arcade that he was a big old fat guy at the Martinsville arcade at the mall, and he learned how to do that before anybody else did. And he was so smug, he would stand there and just hold that button, and like talk to other people while the other player was trying to figure out how to get through it. Let me tell you something. When I figured out how to do Hadouken with Ryu and Ken, he had a bad day. That guy did. Because I would throw that Hadouken at different speeds and keep it coming constantly. Like every time I jumped, Hadouken. I mean, people would get angry with me because I would fight so dirty. But if I win, I get to keep playing. If I lose, lose my quarter, I have to go to the back of the line. So, you do what you have to do.
Exactly.
I just remember that guy, he was so smug. It was so good to kick his ass. I was good with Scorpion on Mortal Kombat 2. I was really good. And my buddy Brandon was equally as good as I was a Scorpion with Reagan. And let me tell you something, we had some showdowns, buddy. I mean, we'd be flying around all over the screen, not being able to hit each other because we just, we played so much, we almost knew what the other one was going to do. And sometimes we'd play on the Super NES, and by the time we got done, we'd be like, just from playing a video game, love it.
Wasn't y'all on the bike to Backstreet to play Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Where did y'all, where you say Backstreet?
Backstreet Pavilion in Mount Airy.
Oh, okay. I don't know where that's at.
It's on the way to it's still there. It's probably not like it was, but it's on the road to go to the Armory if you come from like the Roses area and you go down that road past Mount Airy High School to get to Veterans Park. It's there near the little bitty car wash.
Oh, okay.
It's probably not like it.
Yeah, I don't know that they have Mortal Kombat anymore.
That was
but it's still there, still open, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just a pool hall, right? With what, 1-2 games?
Yeah, they had a little corner with games. Yeah, just enough to attract us nerds. It was a blue of all the other goings on, all the illicit goings on that were going in the other parts of the place. We were just nerding out in the corner.
Yeah. So it makes the place look family friendly to have a bunch of kids in there, so they drug dealers probably loved it. We need to keep the family image of this place up so the cops don't get wise to this, I didn't understand why my parents didn't want me hanging around in pool halls when I was a teenager until I got older. But see, I was actually going to play pool,
right?
So, but yeah. Anyway, anything else we need to cover? This show has been weird.
It's been all over the place. No, just come out on the 20th. It's not going to be hot. I think it says, let's see what's it say. Next Saturday, 79 degrees.
Wow. Okay. All right. And what app are you using so we know who to blame if it's not?
It's my iPhone.
iPhone?
The weather app.
Let's see what WeatherBug has to say about it. And we'll find out, who in this world of weather forecasting is a filthy liar.
Now, the thing about WeatherBug, is that the one I worked with a teacher whose husband did data analysis at BB&T, and he actually did data analysis of all the weather apps and said WeatherBug at the time before they were bought out, because they were bought out a few years ago, was the most accurate.
Really?
After he did huge long data analysis on it.
WeatherBug says Saturday, 80 degrees, 60% chance of storms. So that 80 degrees is probably, it's 1 degree off what you got.
And I have 55% chance of rain. So
yeah, so that temperature is probably going to have a lot to do with whether or not the rains come or not.
But we got that roof, so
yeah, we got the roof, and no longer rains inside the building, so we can be thankful for that. But I'm showing starting tomorrow all the way through next Tuesday, 30% chance of rain tomorrow, but Tuesday 40. This is locally here in Concord.
Yeah, and we don't have that.
60, 80, 70, 70% chance, 70% chance next Sunday, 70%. Next Monday, I hope we do get it, some of that, because we need it, man. The grass is just burnt brown here, and even with the rain Friday, it didn't help. All right, well, we're talking about the weather now. This show's officially sucks at this point. So,
I was getting ready to talk about how I've hit every huge rainstorm coming back from the beach. So,
oh yeah, we got to get out of here. We're talking about the weather. All right, let's go. We'll see you guys at wrestling on Saturday. Back here next Sunday. and just be nice to each other out there, and on social media. All right. Yeah, just be nice. Take care, everybody. Until then, and what am I doing? I'm even screwing up the Bob Caudle ending, and he deserves better. We'll see you next time, wrestling fans, and until then, so long for now.